If you saw how the first test match, if you look at day 3, how it panned out, England dominated for 2 sessions, India probably had a better share of the second session. But as the session wore on, India's bowlers, they felt the pressure. Shoulders dropped, ideas seemed to be running out. Rohit, towards the last hour, kind of set defensive fields. Now, it was a stark contrast to how it happened earlier. Rohit had attacked, wickets kept coming, but England were also scoring quickly. The catch-22 situation meant that how could Rohit adapt? Now remember, day 3 on a whole, if you look at it, India kind of surrendered the advantage that they had. I mean, look, 40 minutes, just 15 runs. And then after that, England scored quickly, 6 runs per over. Second session, Bumrah's magical spell got you back. But then after that, Ashwin and Bumrah had chipped away. But then after that, the Foakes and Pope partnership ensured England had registered a lead of 126. Ollie Pope in particular, 148. We all felt that Pope was a walking wicket in the first innings. But now he really showcased his potential. The other problem was the pitch. The pitch at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium did not break up that much. And on top of that, this was black soil, which meant the pace got slower, the spin got slower. And in the post-day press conference that Paras Mamre, the Indian bowling coach, had, there was a warning sign for the Indian cricket team. Because whatever were the inputs, whatever he could see and whatever he could analyze out of that, Paras Mamre had a very, you may say, a nervous warning for the Indian cricket team, because he stated, pitch will get better on the slower side. It will improve for batting, but the turn and the pace will be low. It will be very slow. It is not the usual turn. There might not be sharp turn. Now this last point, there might not be a sharp turn, is a big reminder. That is why Ashwin, Jadeja, you look at it, Ashwin, Jadeja and Akshar, they were getting neutralized. Akshar, once again, he got some balls to skid through, but the turn wasn't sharp. Just illustrate this one thing. Johnny Bairstow in the first innings was undone by a ripping delivery which gripped the surface and went straight on. But in Jadeja's case, it drifted on, there was not enough turn. Today you saw Ashwin had to give one delivery some real revs, and because of that, he managed to breach Stokes' defense. But on the other hand, looking at the black soil wicket that is there, the pitch will be slow, the turn will be slow, and that's why England's batters managed to negotiate it much better than how they could on day 1. Spin and pace will be easy and slow. It was easy to negotiate the turn, which is why India also 51% might not be feeling very nervous about it, because England's spinners might not have the potency to ensure that they run through the Indian batting. That bat's still number 9 anyways. But the turn is not sharp. That means they'll have to work a bit extra for those wickets. 4 more wickets are required, but if England can get about 70-80 runs, which their tail very well can, then a target of 200, whatever be the situation, it can be nervous. It will be a nervous chase for India, that is for sure. But if Yashasvi has his way, if all the others play in an aggressive manner, maybe a target of 200 plus might necessarily not be intimidating also. But pressure of a 4th innings can do real strange things. And that is why turn is not that sharp, pace and spin is slow, which is why getting wickets and scoring runs will be very difficult as the game progresses. It has not crumbled. This wicket has just not crumbled yet. That's why run scoring can be done. Spin will be very slow. It is not like the sandpit of Ahmedabad or Indore, where every single time the ball landed, a wicket was written. Hyderabad is a throwback to those 90s pitches, if we may say. But what kept India in the hunt was that special spell from Jasprit Bumrah. That reverse swinging delivery that Ben Duckett got, it just uprooted and nearly impaled KS Bharat, by the way, how the off stump went. Bharat was absolutely vocal behind the stumps. Bumrah was at his absolute white heat, bowling with tremendous skill, unleashed his entire repertoire. The slow ball, the Yorker, the reverse swing, the swing, conventional swing. Bumrah had it all. And when he dismissed Joe Root with that incoming delivery, it signaled that India were on a high and they held the advantage before Ollie Pope and Ben Foakes just wrested it back slightly. On that spell by Jasprit Bumrah, Paras Mambre had a lot to wax lyrical about because he stated he is a special bowler. Overseas, he has been excellent. He has not played much in India. Every time he turns up, he gives his best. Just one of our family members pointed out, he averages 16 in India. On wickets where the spinners will have a big workload, Jasprit Bumrah is simply a freakish bowler. Whatever way you look at that spell that he had, pre-2019, his first stress fracture, there were shades of that. Sustained pace, sustained hostility, that was the Bumrah where the world feared. And that is why he is one of the best in the business for this special reason. That spell, I would say it was the match turning spell. It was the spell of the match, Jasprit Bumrah, during the second session on day 3. But a lot of people were asking, why was Siraj not bowled? In this entire test match, if you look at it, Siraj has not been bowled much at all. It's either been Bumrah or the spinners have shouldered a very heavy workload, as was expected. But in the case of Siraj, you could understand that he was struggling with his lines, he was struggling with his lengths. What do you do about it then? Paras Mambre gave an explanation which stated that with 2 seamers, one will get underbowled. Spinners will bowl a large chunk. Rohit felt that Bumrah bowled well and was getting movement. So that is why he felt continue with Bumrah, but there was no other moment, no other occasion by which he could get Siraj to bowl a sustained spell. And Siraj also has been inconsistent in this test match. In front of his home fans, so far it's not been a good test match for Mohammad Siraj. But one hopes that he can get a chance tomorrow. The second new ball is due in the next 3 overs. Maybe Siraj can get a crack at it. Maybe he can get a wicket. That is the only hope that one has. But England today were adaptable. They scored at 6 per over, then recalibrated, adjusted, and they still ended up with a run rate of over 4. Baseball adaptability, have England changed the template? Maybe, maybe not. Because situational awareness is also very, very important. And baseball probably stresses that, but somewhere gets lost under the aggression. Where India caught off guard by baseball? Paras Mambre stated, the way England approached Test cricket, we were expecting it. We expected the aggression. The credit goes to them to be brave enough to play and get away with it. I mean, look at the kind of shots that Ollie Pope made. One particular reverse scoop of Jadeja. He was planning for a scoop and he somehow managed to get it over the keeper for a boundary. Then he played conventional cricket. Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett played aggressive cricket but threw away their wickets. I mean, you may say Duckett threw his wicket away with a poor shot. Great ball but poor shot. Root also undone by a good ball. Foakes played conventionally. Ollie Pope, a mixture of aggression, baseball and conventional cricket. So England adapted and applied themselves well. And the pitch, the spin and pace were gone. And that is why they could manage to ensure they overturned the deficit and got in a 126-run lead. But as far as the target is concerned, Paras Mambre and the Indian cricket team are stating we are not panicking too much. The first aim is to get the remaining 4 wickets quickly, and after that, let's see. If India can restrict England to a target of under 200, it might be a tricky chase, but India will be the favourites. If it's even 250, 275, then there will be worry. But if it's 300, then advantage might be with England. Because remember, the spinners might not get that much of benefit. They may be bowling straight, they may be bowling off the way, they may try to get some turn, but the wicket is offering slow turn. And India's batters are much more capable to handling slow turn. And that's why this particular day 3 is always a moving day in a test match. It's probably still not moved totally in favor of one team. Yes, if they get the 4 wickets out cheaply, say 4 wickets, 40 runs, India will have the advantage. 166, they could chase it with the pedigree that they have. But this test match is already an indication England are not willing to lie down. And for all of us who had said that they may not be able to survive on these particular wickets, we have been proven wrong. At least England have put up a greater fight. Morally, England will go on a high to Vizag if the test match finishes tomorrow. But if it doesn't and it goes into day 5 and England have managed to get a 250-run lead, then England will be really beaming irrespective of if they lose the test match or win the test match. So that's why today England wrested the initiative back. India will have a whole lot of things to do in the fourth day, because remember, probably not even the first session of day 4, it is probably going to the final session of day 4. That is how this test match is poised. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.